Franco Colapinto, the young Argentine talent who conquered South America and shone in Europe's junior categories, has finally been given the chance to drive for Alpine in F1. But now, in the heat of the 2025 season, everything seems to be hanging by a thread. Underwhelming performances, intense behind-the-scenes pressure, and impatience from management are creating a suffocating environment for the rookie. And to make matters worse, rumors are swirling. Doohan, Bottas, Drugovich, and even Paul Aron are on the list of possible replacements. But will Alpine actually replace Colapinto? Or will he react in time and silence all the critics? Stay until the end of the video to understand this controversy. Like and subscribe to the channel. Imagine being invited to drive a Formula One car, but only for 5 races. That's exactly what happened to Franco Colapinto. Alpine confirmed he would replace Imola rookie Jack Doohan until the Austrian GP, a key period to impress. And what's more, Flavio Briatore, the team's top executive, set the tone from the outset by saying that Franco's continued presence would be contingent on a simple but lethal condition: being fast, not crashing, and scoring points. Sounds easy. In F1, not at all. Let's get to the facts. Colapinto has competed in 6 Grands Prix for Alpine so far, valid to see if he continues past the first 5, but has yet to score a single point. His best result was 13th, a repeat in Monaco and Canada. In the other GPs, he finished far from the points zone: 16th in Imola, where he had an accident in Q1, 15th in Spain, and 15th again in Austria. The scenario: Alpine still has no points in the second car, while only Gasly adds to the team. The constructors' table shows Alpine stuck at the bottom, failing to score points in 3 of the first 4 races, and only 1 point gained until May. Briatore, with his direct style, is not at all satisfied. Clearly the car was good enough to make it to Q3, but we're far from that. This level of performance is increasingly worrying. What does this statement show? That time is running out, and so is patience. Despite the brutal pressure, some say Colapinto still has a chance. Auto Evolution reported that he is expected to remain in the car beyond the initial 5 GP evaluation, and that Alpine plans to keep the Argentine for the second half of the season, but will continue with race-by-race reviews. Furthermore, Colapinto himself claims to have daily conversations with Briatore and reinforces that he feels trust, even with the suspicious looks. You know, that tense environment where everyone feels like every decision could be their last. That's exactly what's happening at Alpine. The team underwent a leadership change mid-season. Oliver Oakes, who had taken over in 2024, resigned shortly after the Miami GP, his 5th race at the wheel, leaving the team adrift, almost like F1's Watford, as the Sun compared it. This put even more of a spotlight on the decision-maker. Flavio Briatore, the feared executive, with a reputation for ruthlessness after episodes like Crashgate, reassumed direct leadership of the team. According to sources such as Planet F1 and GrandPrix.com, Briatore made it clear he is absolutely merciless with drivers who don't deliver as expected. The message was direct. Colapinto needs to be quick, not crash, and score. A simple but deadly triad to fulfill. Briatore even disputes that there is a 5-race limit. If Colapinto does well, he'll drive. If not, we'll see, he said before the Spanish GP. In other words, every weekend is an immediate judgment. In addition to the pressure from the top, the intimidating environment extends to the grid. Jack Doohan, fired from his cockpit, faced rumors of dismissal before the season even began, and caught Alpine adopting a stance that took the pressure off him. Doohan was told, "You're a reserve, don't worry," but Colapinto arrived as a major threat. And when Oakes was ousted, the vision emerged of a rudderless, directionless team, with Briatore filling every void, including in the cockpit. Internally, this sense of sudden pressure intensified at the Austrian GP. Sources report that just weeks earlier, Alpine had said it would keep Colapinto beyond the 5 races, but that weekend it communicated to him and his team the urgent need for performance. The message was clear. It's not enough to just be there. You have to deliver results. Before I continue, please like and subscribe to the channel so that the YouTube algorithm recommends this video. And let's go. Shortly after Colapinto's disastrous qualifying and retirement at the British GP, Sky Sports reporter Ted Kravitz threw a real grenade behind the scenes, raising names like Bottas, Doohan, Drugovich, and Paul Aron saying they're still last in the constructors. More questions about when Franco Colapinto is going to drive this car at Spa. It could be Jack Doohan. It could be Valtteri Bottas. It might be Felipe Drugovich. It might be anybody. Plenty of doubts about Colapinto. Valtteri Bottas, a former driver with 10 pole positions and a winning record in F1, is leading the field to replace Colapinto. Sources indicate that Briatore has been in close contact with Toto Wolff seeking approval for a possible midterm switch. And, as journalist Oliver Harden reported to Planet F1, Alpine has already opened talks with the Finn for the cockpit at the Belgian GP, and the reason is clear. Bottas combines solid experience and quick adaptation. Exactly what Alpine is looking for after a season full of ups and downs. Another name hot on the speculation list is Felipe Drugovich, Aston Martin's reserve driver and one of the most highly rated Brazilians off the grid. However, journalists like Julian Chirasoli reported that Drugovich himself stated there was no official contact with Alpine during the Grand Prix weekend. In other words, it's a name on the list, but without confirmation. Jack Doohan, the original driver who was replaced before the season began, is another figure on the board. He knows the car and the team, and was ruled out even before Colapinto took over, but rumors point to him returning to the cockpit. Within the paddock, some see this move as a move to fill the gap with someone familiar, but critics argue that it would be a step backward, taking away the Argentine's chance. Rounding out the list, Paul Aron, an Alpine Academy driver, emerges as an underrated but strategic option. He's had some free practice sessions with Sauber and is seen as a medium-term option, also mentioned by Kravitz alongside Doohan and Drugovich. The team sees him as a low-risk, high-reward profile. This lethal combination of internal, external, and media pressure puts Colapinto in a tunnel of fire. His tenure depends not only on moving quickly, but also on surviving the storm of opinion. Spa-Francorchamps, scheduled for July 27, 2025, appears on the calendar as the turning point of the season for Colapinto, or will it be the end of the line? There are already reports from the team commenting internally that the results up to this GP will determine whether the Argentine continues or is replaced. The episode is historic. In Spa, since 2023, Alpine has faced decisive changes, both in management and in the cockpit. In other words, this GP carries strategic and symbolic weight. It's where everything can change. Spa comes after a 2-week rest, enough time to recalibrate strategies, simulate crashes, and prepare adjustments to the A525. Alpine's internal bulletins speak of taking advantage of this break to redefine the car's performance and give the driver room to redeem himself before the pressure returns. Meanwhile, Alpine is already outlining the scenario for the Mercedes engine in 2026. The performance of the second car at the end of July will be one of the deciding factors for Gasly's lineup, and the ideal candidate will have engineering DNA, stable feedback, and the ability to grow alongside the team and new machine. But tell me, what did you think of this video? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your opinion. Like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing.